here today on RealAgriculture.com at the NCBA convention in San Antonio. Right now we're with Duane Lenz. Duane is with Cattlefax. Welcome today, Duane.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you having me.
Duane, what is your position at Cattlefax?
I am a manager of analyst services and operations there.
Okay, so the beef market has definitely been a bit of a challenge over the number of months, or for some of us years.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about going into the next 12 months?
You know, we're optimistic going forward. We think that we're coming through the worst of this economy, and as the economy starts to pick up steam, we think that's really going to help our beef market out. We're real bullish on world trade too. You know, we see the world developing, more population growing, the world becoming wealthier in many cases. That's always been good for beef, both U.S. and Canadian. We see a huge opportunity out there. As those come to us, we really feel that's going to help beef prices out in the coming year. Okay, so are you kind of banking on the, I guess, the global recession kind of contracting and things getting to pick up for those middle meats and those kind of categories? Yeah, and the middle meats will probably be the last thing to pick up because it's so hard to get people out there traveling. They're still trading down. You know, we've seen most of our strength so far this year in some of the trimmings, some of the chucks, some of the lower priced items. But as the economy comes back, people have more money in their pocket, more confidence especially, they'll probably start trading back up into the steaks, maybe as soon as the grilling season starts when the warmer weather hits, but okay. It could take longer. So you said you're bullish cattle prices. Do you think this is going to be a gradual climb, or are we going to experience the viciousness and volatility that we've had in the past couple of years? That's a good question. We see it more gradual, and maybe we're trying to be a little bit more optimistic. That volatility is a wonderful thing, but when you go up there and have to come back and down, that's tough. So we think it's a gradual climb out of here. We think fed cattle price is going to average $2, maybe $3 higher this year than it did a year ago, for instance. Okay. So you said you're very confident about trade. Is the U.S. I've heard that word quite a bit here, actually, talking to people at the convention. So are you seeing the U.S. really making some inroads in terms of global trade? Yeah, it's surprised us last couple months. What we've seen here last 2 months have really been fairly encouraging, and we think we can move forward still going ahead. We've got some deals with Japan. We're still trying to get our age limit moved to the 30-month, for instance. We think Russia right now, we're going through some struggles to the end, but we think we're going to get through those. South Korea keeps coming back towards us a little bit. So we see several areas of opportunity out there. Well, being from Canada, I have to ask about the effects of something like Cool. What kind of effect is that having on the cattle market? Well, it's limiting our numbers, number one. But it's added cost to our system. You know, we're all, especially at the retailer packer side, they're having to pay to keep track of all the paperwork, if you will. It's added paperwork for us as well. So we haven't per se seen any price benefit for it. It's probably just added cost to the system. Okay. So very quickly, what about the feeder cattle market? Are we expecting some, that's going to kind of follow upwards as well? We think so. Of course, a lot of that's going to be tied to corn. Right. And see how this corn crop comes in. We could have some planting delays this spring. We'll have to watch that. But we think overall feeder, we're just like Canada, where both of us are getting such tight supply out there of feeder cattle and calves. We feel over time the tight supplies will drag prices upward. You do that enough, and hopefully you can start regenerating the breeding herd, keeping more of the heifer calves out. Maybe you start building up your numbers that way. So you do a lot of traveling, speaking to a lot of people in the industry all over North America. What do you feel is kind of the sentiment? Are people sharing that same sort of cautious bullishness but optimism? Yeah, and that's probably part of the curse of the cattle business. Yeah. We tend to be an optimistic bunch. We're always looking for the silver lining. But the feeding industry has been wounded bad with this loss of equity and the losses that we've endured. But still, I think people say, hey, this thing will get better. We want to be around for the better times again and try to participate when the better times hit. So cautiously optimistic still. Well, Duane, thank you very much for joining us today. If somebody wants more information on Cattlefax, where can they go on the web? www.cattlefax.com. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, and have a great convention. Thank you, Sean.